welcome back to the Epic Storm. Today we are cube drafting, and as always, we are forcing Storm. You know, this Mox card usually typically pretty good when you're trying to, do the free spell thing. So we're going to take Mox Pearl here. And pack number 2. Not a whole lot going on for Storm here. We could take the Warm Power Stone or the Prismatic Vista. I like Power Stone when we have a Mox Pearl because we're able to cast this on turn 2. And well, I'm always looking to tinker, so Power Stone is an artifact for tinker. Tinker is my favorite thing about the Storm Cube. I mean, Vintage Cube. So that's what we're looking to do today. Dimir Signet, Underworld Breach. This is actually the first time that I've seen Breach in the card pool, so I think I'm going to take this just because I haven't had the opportunity to draft it yet. So if you're unfamiliar, Underworld Breach you really want to pair with Brain Freeze and then Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond, or Black Lotus. Okay, so we could take the Signet or we could take Desperate Ritual. I don't really love most of these other cards. I think we take the Ritual. The next selection, Golgari Signet, Mesmeric Fiend. I'm not really loving most of these. I think we're probably just supposed to take the Signet and move on with our life. It is a card that we can cast turn 1 off of the Mox Pearl plus land, so it's not the worst. And eventually if we find Tinker, it is another artifact to tinker away. Next pack. Not a whole lot in here. I think you're supposed to just take the Remand and move on. The card's not looking so good for us after that initial Underworld Breach pick so far. Hello, Cabal Ritual. Welcome to the party. Gladly take that. Brawl versus Mana Fixing. So this is sort of an interesting decision here because we're 1 foot in the spell camp regarding Desperate Ritual and Cabal Ritual, but we also have 1 foot in the Artifact Mana camp, so it's a little bit of a split thing. So you're choosing between Blackleaf Cliffs here and the Brawl. I think I'm just going to take the Brawl, but it could end up not panning out if we end up with too many artifacts. Force of Negation versus Brutality. I think I'm probably just going to take the Collector Brutality. You can't really afford the card Disadvantage in Vintage Cube, plus our blue count is currently fairly low. None of these picks really matter. I'm going to take Relic as a Cyborg card against Reanimator. Mana Flare is another one of those cards that has a weird tension with how our deck is currently constructed. Because we have artifacts and we have rituals, and Mana Flare wants land, so our deck is a little all over the place right now. Fatal Push versus Looting. They're both sort of iffy, but I think we take the Underworld Breach, or take the Looting when we have Underworld Breach. It does feel escape a little bit. Mesmeric Fiend is a reasonable cyborg card for us, so that's fine. Neither of these picks really matters. And a 15th pick Lion Sash. Legacy playable in Death and Taxes. Alright, so we have the Brain Freeze now. This is card number 2 we need for the Underworld Breach combo. So now we just need Black Lotus, Lion's Eye Diamond, or Lotus Petal, and we have the full 3-card combo in our deck. Whoa, Mox Sapphire passed. We will take that. 2 pieces of power, sign me up. Oracle's really good when you have Underworld Breach. We could also take the Spiral here. This is a really tough call. I think Oracle could wheel, so I'm going to take the Time Spiral. But that's a really tough decision. Next pack. None of these cards are really that good, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't know if we're going to play a card out of this pack. We could take something like Heartbeat of Spring, but I don't see myself splashing green at the moment. We could take Ashiok, but it's not really a card we want to play, so I just don't have any strong opinions here. Let's take the Ashiok, I suppose. Cardboard Cyborg card. None of these are really that good either. Can maybe take the Gush. Yeah, it's probably Gush here. High Tide versus Underground Sea. So I think what we could do is take the High Tide and then cut black and just be a blue-red deck. That's certainly an option here. We already have Time Spiral, so we have 1 tap effect. And we have Mana Flare as well, so that's 2 Tides. And then I get past Tendrils. Oh, I have to pick between Tendrils or LED. Because LED finishes the Brain Freeze combo. I think we just have to take the Lion's Eye Diamond. As good as... I can't believe I'm passing up Tendrils here, but... That completes the Breach combo, so we just have to take the Lion's Eye Diamond. Miscalc versus Shark Typhoon. I think you take the Typhoon because it's a backup win condition, which seems kind of insane, but it's true. I guess Miscalc works with Brain Freeze, or I'm sorry, Baral. Let's take the Miscalculation. I think I'm going to put these black cards to our sideboard. Right now, I think we're just a blue-red Storm deck. Take the Abrade. We have completed the Underworld Breach combo. I'm pretty excited about this deck now. I was really low on it after pack 1, and now I'm just into it. I think that this deck is going to be sweet. The only thing I could ask for now is Tinker Citadel. Frantic Search would also be really good here because it sort of fuels itself for Underworld Breach, and it makes mana. Like, it does pretty much everything we want in our Mana Flare High Tide deck. Let's see if the Oracle wheels. I would really enjoy it if it did. Guess we take ready for the sideboard. And there's our Thassa's Oracle. Perfect. And the reason why we want Oracle is so that way if our opponent has an Eldrazi, we can still win the game. Because right now, Brain Freeze is the only way we could possibly win. So in pack 3, we'd ideally find something like Lotus Petal. Obviously, I'd take Black Lotus, so that way we have 2 things to win with Breach, but another LED effect would be nice. I think we just take the Mirror Breaker. Like, at worst, this is a 3-mana looting. Not that I love this card, because I definitely don't, but it's theoretically playable. None of these matter. Let's deny someone a Birthing Pod. Expressive Iteration, that's actually playable in here. 15th pick Chicken Tendies. I mean, maybe we'll add black back in, who knows. How do we feel about this Ancestral Recall card? Pretty good? Pretty good. I mean, we're passing up Wheel of Fortune, but Ancestral's worth it. I think we take the Polluted Delta here. We could also take the Fiery Islet. I don't know what the right pick is here between these two. I'm going to take the Delta. It's a card to escape for Underworld Breach. I don't know. The Coast versus Chart a Course. I think it's the Coast. You just play it over a mountain, so it doesn't count towards against High Tide. Yeah, I think I like that. Force of Will? That's pretty good. Let's take that Force card. I think I've heard of that one before. Can't believe we're not going to play Tendrils of Agony. That's so wild. Yes! We got past Frantic Search. I wanted that card so badly. This deck is really shaping up. I think there's a good chance we cut the Golgari Signet in this Worn Power Stone, but let's see how it ends up being. Red Elemental Blast. That's a pretty good card. I think we take that one. I don't know if it's main deckable, but we can put it in our sideboard. Oh my, if we take Luris, we can be a Luris deck if we just cut the Worn Power Stone. I guess I don't have black mana for Luris. But it would give me like a way of recurring Underworld Breach versus the Red Elemental Blast. Luris might also wheel. Alright, I'm going to take the Blast. I mean, I think Luris is, wow. All right, so Turnabout versus Citadel. I don't have Tinker. I'm gonna take the Turnabout, as much as it breaks my heart. I love Tinker Citadel so much. But we have High Tide, Mana Flare, Frantic Search, Turnabout, Spiral. The only one we're missing is Treachery. This deck is very good, by the way. I don't know how I'll do in this draft, or this league, draft league, but right now, this deck is like a 9 or a 10. Like, it's pretty good. Oh, I guess I can't play Luris. I forgot about the Mana Flare. So I definitely made the right choice with the Red Elemental Blast. I'm not convinced I'm going to play these two artifacts. I might just play these. None of these cards really do anything for us. But Fire Blast in our sideboard. Jokel Hops is a cool card, I guess. I think one thing that might make us continue to play the Golgari Signet and the Power Stone is that we're actually just short on playables. We could maybe move like the Duretti to the main deck as a looting effect, but we're a little bit short. Take the Vision. Sure, we'll take a Kiki. Escape to the Wilds. Think we want the Expansion Explosion. I don't think Wheel of Misfortune is actually any good. And here we actually have a bunch of spells we can fork. Like, you could also copy Ancestral Recall, which is pretty good. Just throwing that out there. Karmic Guide, okay. So that completes our draft. Alright, it's time to trim down now. So we have 27 cards, counting 2 lands. So let's do the default add basics and let's see what it says. We'll do -1 and then +1, so we have 9 islands. That's 15 lands. It's actually short. Alright, so I'm going to cut this Power Stone in the Signet, go up to 17. We are a High Tide deck. I think I like this. In hindsight, maybe I was supposed to take the blue-red sacrifice land over the polluted delta. I didn't end up seeing a steam vents or volcanic island, which is what I was hoping for when I drafted that. But I think that this deck's actually like pretty good. I know that normally when you play Moxen, you want less lands, but we are the High Tide, like, Time Spiral deck. We also have Faithless Looting to help loot. Same thing with Frantic Search. So you have ways of getting rid of extra lands. Plus, when you discard those extra lands to Underworld Breach, everything works out. So this looks pretty good to me. I'm going to save this, and let's hop right on in to match number 1. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. That said, there's no better way of showing your support than becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks, and we get to keep making combo content. The perks get better and better each level you go up. They also stack. To start off, with our Storm Fan tier, you unlock our private members section of our Discord, which comes with a highlighted user profile and then some awesome badges and emotes for YouTube. Looking for sideboard help? Become a Stormtrooper, our middle tier, for 2 sideboard guides of your deck choice every single month, on top of 50% off donation decks. Did we mention you also get 10% off merchandise from our shop? With our top tier, the Combo Cabal, you get a free donation deck every single month, 15% off merchandise from our shop, early access to private deck lists, and the most valuable perk in my opinion, videos early. That's right, you heard it, early access to all videos. But maybe sweet perk, secret deck list, early access to videos isn't for you, but you'd still like to show your appreciation. Make sure to check out theepicstorm.com/shop for card singles and Storm swag. Please don't forget to use your membership discounts. Finally, if you want to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel, make sure to visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where all you have to do is attach your TXT file and pick a donation tier. With our Epic tier, you can even join me in a video to showcase your bold brew in person and explain the ins and outs of your strategy. Card availability won't be an issue due to our new sponsor, Card Hoarder. With Card Hoarder, renting is super easy. If you're looking to get into Magic Online, there isn't a better, more affordable solution than Card Hoarder. Fun fact, you can rent the Epic Storm for 7 tickets a week, which is just a great deal. There are many ways you can support us. Just pick whatever is best for you. In the meantime, let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We're on the play. Let's get it. Okay, so unfortunately here we don't have any lands, so that means we are not keeping this. Is Ancestral Recall any good? I think I've heard of that card before. I guess I'll try it. Like, it seems like it's at least an okay Magic card. Let's bottom this Repeal. Turn 1 Island and pass the turn. In our opponent's upkeep, Ancestral Recall the player on Force of Negation. It is in the cube after all. We get Force of Will, but no second land. Stymy Ground past the turn. Oh no, Mox Jet, my bad. Okay, come on, give me a land. I'm just gonna play Mox Pearl and pass. I could suspend the Vision, but then I wouldn't have Miscalc up. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pass. Like, I think the Ancestral is a card that I pitch to the Force of Will. Ren in 6. I'm gonna miscalculation that. Get out of here. Draw. Mock Sapphire. Okay, let's suspend the Ancestral, I guess. And then Expressive Iteration becomes my pitch card. 4 mana. Huntmaster is fine. I'm not going to force that. That card doesn't matter. But I would like to find some lands. Draw. Well, I guess the suspend on that. Frantic Search. We just need a single... Well, I'd like a couple more Ions, actually, but... this hand's ready to just pop. Alright, Huntmaster doing its thing. We're going to take 6 here, going to 12. Time is running out. Draw. Alright, we hit Island. That's good. And I'm just going to pass the turn here. Next turn, I'm going to be forced to go off, or else it's going to be lethal, but at least I'll have an extra land drop. And the opponent's just passing. Ancestral Vision, and then draw. Alright, I'm going to cast the High Tide. I think I should probably play the Mountain. Let's Frantic Search. Island. Do I want to get rid of the Force or the Iteration? Probably the Force. Untap. Tap for a white. No, I think I want to float. Yeah, let's do it like this. Turnabout targeting me. Land. Untap. Now we Expressive Iteration. So this card goes to my hand. So we'll take the Looting. Mount to the bottom. And then we keep the Expansion Explosion here. Because we can cast this after to draw a bunch of cards. Alright, untap. Alright, let's Ancestral Recall. Could also try to fork it with the Expansion Explosion. Maybe I should do that. Full priority. Let's copy this. Expansion. Okay, so I'm going to draw 6 cards here. I mean, how often do you resolve 3 Ancestral Recalls in one game? Let's cast High Tide, I guess. And Expressive. Underworld Breach to hand. Island on the bottom, Force. And what's looting? Discard 2 lands. We've actually seen a lot of lands. Geez, I am running out of action here. So I can play the Breach and then Ancestral myself, but I'd have to hit. We have 14 cards left. Maybe I should just Gush first. All right, let's cast Gush. Repeal. Bounce the Sapphire, I guess. No dice. Okay, I might fizzle here. We have to hit. We have 6 cards to draw with the Ancestral. Okay. Oracle doesn't quite do it. All right, target myself with Ancestral again. And we did not hit the Brain Freeze. There's only 5 cards left in our deck and we missed. Wow. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, that's a bummer. I mean, I can play the Oracle as a blocker. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back from this. Play Brawl as a blocker. Probably the play here. And then move to discard. Let's get rid of a whole bunch of lands. We're just so dead. Alright, Prismatic Vista. Fatal Push. So now the attack would put me to 2 life. Yeah, that happens. So you're saying there's a chance. Wait, this resolves and I go to 2 cards in deck. Do we just win? So target ourselves. And then draw for turn. Oh my. I think we get to do this. So I get to cycle Miscalc into Oracle. Let's Desperate Ritual. Cycle Miscalculation. Wait, that's his Oracle. Wow, I can't believe I got to win that off the back of the Forgotten Ancestral Visions. That was really lucky. But I'll take it. I was not expecting that. Okay, that was wild. I'm just going to resubmit. I think our deck is already perfect. So, boom. Can't convince me otherwise, even despite the bad luck there. All right, game number 2. We have the Ancestral Vision again. We also have Time Spiral. I think we're supposed to ship this, though. We want to be able to consistently hit our land drops. There's Spiral plus Mana Flare. I think we keep this and we just put the Lion's Eye Diamond at the bottom of our library. You could also potentially put back the Mountain and just say, hey, I'm going to draw a land within the first 4 turns of the game, which I think is pretty reasonable. So I think that's actually the better thing to do here, in case you backdoor into the Breach combo. Stop big round again, okay. Well, there's part 1 of the Brain Freeze combo. Now we just need Underworld Breach. Mountain into Ooze, okay. Draw. Pass. Swamp, okay. Going to 18 and our opponent's passing the turn, draw. Not going to suspend that vision. I'm just going to play the flare here and pass the turn. Nothing bad's ever happened to anyone after they played Mana Flare and passed the turn, right? Like, ever? Like it always just goes swimmingly? Okay, what awful thing is going to happen to me here because I gave them 6 mana? Alright, now 8 mana. 6 mana. Oh. Don't care about that. Okay. So 5 mana. Garrick. I don't care about that either. Okay, so that went well for me. Draw. Come on. Underworld Breach. Miscalculation. Okay, so we're going to play the Lion's Eye Diamond here. Make a bunch of mana. And let's cast this Time Spiral. And sacrifice the diamond for blue. Alright, so we hit Ancestral, but not a whole lot of other action spells there. You could try to play Oracle first to get the Scry in. Which I don't hate. Maybe I'll do that. Alright, Oracle. I think we put the... do I put the Repeal on top? I guess I do have a lot of mana here. Ancestral. It was hot garbage. Okay, so let's play the Pearl. Bounce the Oracle. Yeah, that was not very good. Play the Oracle. I think we put the Gush on top, and then let's kill the Scavenging Ooze now. Because I want to be able to breach back Ancestral. Mox Jet, okay. Garrick kills my Thassa's Oracle. And the activation of Prismatic Vista. Sure, don't care about Utopia Sprawl. Imperial Seal is fine. 5 mana. Portal. I think I'll let that go. Like, that's not a card that instantly kills me, so I think I just have to let it resolve. Alright, we go to 13, and now we want this Gush to hit Underworld Breach. Cast Gush the hard way. Okay, Expansion Explosion's pretty good here. So we're gonna turn about ourselves. Land, untap. Target ourselves. Well, hold on. We're doing X damage. We'll target them, I guess, and then we'll draw. Really need 2 red floating. We'll leave 4 mana floating, so this is going to be a draw 5. So I hit the Underworld Breach, but I don't have I didn't hit the Frantic Search. What to do? I guess I could just pass the turn here and then Force of Will whatever they're doing. Whatever they Imperial Sealed for, and then try to win with Breach on my turn. I don't think I can cast Gush with the alt cost here. I guess I can. Maybe that's the play. Alright, let's try it. So, Gush. No, I can't do that. Whoops, that was a mistake. So, I guess I Ancestral trying to hit Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's go. And we did. Alright, how lucky. Triple blue. Storm is 6. Lion's Eye Diamond again. At 3 blue. Brain Freeze ourselves. Still have a Thassa's Oracle in there. Okay, I got pretty lucky this game. Made up for last game where I feel like I was not very fortunate. Okay, and now we bring back the Thassa's Oracle. And that'll do. 1-0 with this deck. Woot woot. If you haven't joined them already, I would recommend opening up our description down below and joining our 7 social media networks. They're each great in their own way, but I would strongly suggest joining our Discord server. In there, you will find others just like you looking to improve their Storm game and grow as a combo community. If you're a member of our YouTube channel, you should sync your account to Discord to unlock our private member section that has the latest and greatest deck lists, concepts, and much, much more. Let's get back to comboing out. All right, match number 2, we're on the play. I'm feeling good. Let's see if we can finish this off strong. And well, I'm going to keep the hand with Ancestral Recall in it. I heard that's pretty good. We also have Frantic Search. So what this hand wants to do is find that High Tide type card. Opponent taking a mulligan to 5. Okay. Island and pass the turn. Upkeep Ancestral. Sorry, it's just the right thing to do when Force of Negation exists. Basic Planes into Student of Warfare. Okay, draw. So it's Hold Open Miscalculation versus Suspend Visions. I don't think that we're going to make it until turn whatever. So I'm just going to discard the Visions, I think. Like, that's not going to unsuspend until turn, like, 6, which I think is asking a lot. Like, what if our opponent just slams Athalia here? Like, and I could have miscalced it if I just kept my mana up. Alright. Draw. And a looting. Okay, that's a little sad. Or 2 lands. Pass the turn. Level up again. It's now a 3/3. Ouch. When I'm passing, draw. Mox Pearl. I can flashback looting and hold open Pearl this turn. Or I mean hold open Miscalc. Let's flashback the looting. Mana Flare freeze. I think you discard these 2. Next turn might be our go turn. Okay. No level up this time. Mana Flare. And now it's Frantic Search. They could have something like a Mana Tithe. Commando. Okay. I can miscalc that actually. Boom, get wrecked. Your calculations were off. Oh no, I forgot. They could pay for it. They just can't sacrifice here, which is fine. Like, I don't really care about the 3/1 body. I just want to make sure the Mana Flare sticks around. Discard these 2 lands, untap. Let's cast this Desperate Ritual for 1 mana. And now we get to Spiral. That was bad. Okay. That was really bad, actually. Bounce the Commando. Alright, so we play Brawl and then try to loot with the Force. No point in suspending the Vision. I'm not going to get to live that long. So I think I want to draw like Ancestral Recall or Expansion Explosion to get back in this game. I mean, I would also take the Frantic Search again. Just something to convert these lands into spells. Okay, you can have an Esper Sentinel. Thalia. Well, Thalia can get countered. Actually, do I let Thalia happen? Like, I have a Brawl. Is the Mana Flare more important? Hmm. Actually, no. Let's get rid of the Thalia, because if they blow up Mana Flare, I think that actually hurts them more than it hurts me. Yes. Alright, so now I get the Brawl trigger. Come on, Ancestral Recall, please. Yes. Not Ancestral Recall. Okay, that's a bummer. And now the Commando comes back down, and likely Mana Flare is gone. Yep. And now we'll take 3 down to 10. Come on, deck. It's Scries. Oracle. Don't think I'm allowed to keep any of those. Might as well suspend this, I guess. Just in case the game goes that long. Got punished on turn 2 for not suspending the vision and holding open Miscalculation, trying to respect Thalia. Ring Wingmare, okay. I think I'm going to block. No, I'm going to take it. Because next turn, if they level this up to a 4/4 double striker, I'd rather block then. Ooh. Okay, draw. Let's gush, I suppose. Yes, pay the blue, or pay the white, I'm sorry. Draw. Frantic Search, okay. We're going places. Might as well play the island. Cast Frantic Search. Looking good. Discard. Let's kill the Ringwing Mare. Breach. Okay, so I think I'm supposed to Frantic Search again. We know that the Brain Freeze is at the pretty much bottom of our deck. Alright, I'm gonna High Tide. Ancestral. And then let's Frantic Search. Just because it makes mana. Discard 2 lands. Untap. And now we Ancestral again. Remove the Mana Flare. This should do it now, because I can discard these cards to just keep on using Ancestral. Add 3 blue. Ancestral targeting me. Alright, and then one more Ancestral. We'll remove Gush, Force, and the Ritual. Mock Sapphire. And then Brain Freeze you. And this is going to be kind of cool. I can actually deck them with the Expansion Explosion. So I mill their entire deck and then I target them to make them draw 1 card, which is kind of sweet. So we have won game number 1 over Mono White, despite a terrible time spiral. Do we want to board any differently? I don't think so. Resubmit. 2 Thalia effects is pretty scary. Keep. Opponent taking a mulligan. What kind of sadistic person purposely drafts Thalia decks? I mean, geez. Alright, so we didn't draw a blue card for Force. That was kind of a bummer. I was hoping to, because they're likely to have a Thalia or a Ringwing Mare. Plains number 2. Does this mean it's Commando on my end step? Draw. Turnabout, okay. And Commando. I'm gonna let that go. If they want to kill my Mox, let them. Commando's gonna knock me down to 17. Draw. Land pass. Sure. Amount of white flash over there. 3 cards in the opponent's hand. So this knocks me down to 12 life. Stoneforge Mystic, you got it. Batter Skull, sure. Selfless Spirit, okay. So they're not holding open Commando here. I tied off the top would be amazing. Draw. Underworld Breach. Unfortunately, Breach doesn't do it either. Player, land, and pass. So they have 5, 8 coming in, which would put me to 4. So I'm going to go to 4 life. Alright, so they're going to do the Batter Skull thing. I'm at 5. And I'm just going to take a draw step. Gush. Gush is a weird draw. So I'm going to pass and then turnabout them on their turn to not take lethal damage. And here comes the Batter Skull, yep. Draw. For the opponent, that is. Alright, so beating a combat, we're going to turnabout targeting them. And we're going to tap their creatures. Creature, tap. Flicker Wisp, that's fine. They are holding open the Commando. Draw. Miscalc. So now I have an interesting decision on whether or not I just cast the Time Spiral or I try to Gush first, looking to spike High Tide. But even if I spike the High Tide, I only have 2 islands in play, so it's not really worth it. So I think instead you just, you know, pay for Spiral the hard way. And that was pretty good, I think. Okay, so how do we beat this Commando? Alright, let's start by casting this Gush. Mana Flare. Okay. Trying to figure this out. I have 8 mana. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. So I have to pay the costs, and I have to leave at least enough to cast Frantic Search. So I'm drawing 1 card, and it has to be Frantic Search. And there goes the Flare. Lion's Eye Diamond. So if I had 1 more red, we could actually win here. Well, attempt to win. But I don't. And even if I play a blocker, they have lethal. Yeah, it just didn't pan out. So we lost a game. That's a bummer. But there's still game 3. Submit deck. On the play for game number 3 versus the double Thalia effect deck. I think I'm going to try this. It's not perfect, but I like being able to make land drops. Pass the turn. Factory. Ooh, Mana Flare was a good one. We're going to hold this until I can Frantic Search on the same turn. Porcelain Legionnaire, you got it. Draw. Let's play the Expressive. So Brawl the hand. And then play the island. Pass the turn. So now we're going to take 3 down to 17. Blade Splicer, sure. Brain Freeze. Play the island. Play Brawl, pass the turn. Mox Ruby. Ah, Jailer, that's a bummer. Yep. I don't think I'm supposed to burn the Frantic Search here. So they're swinging for 7, and I'm going to go to 10. Next turn, they're representing lethal with the factory. So I think I'm supposed to try to win here. Really want to find Underworld Breach. I think that would actually do it. And they get to draw off the Monarch. Draw. Repeal. Okay, so let's play the Flare and then cast the Frantic Search. 1 blue floating, so we can theoretically pay for a Mana Tithe. Yikes, did not hit the Underworld Breach. Okay, so we can bounce the Germ token, and then next turn they'd have 5, 6, 8 coming in, and I would go to 2. Alright, so let's bounce this token. Ooh, swordsing their own creature. I could miscalc it. I think that's actually the right thing to do here. Actually, I guess... Doesn't matter. They have 28 cards, so if I countered it, I could only mill like 18. I just don't think this play matters. Pass the turn. This way I have a miscalc up on their turn if for some reason they did something really expensive with their mana. Stoneforge is fine. Umezawa's Jit. And they're casting the Jitte. 7 mana available at the moment. Sure thing. Down to 5. So they're getting in for 6 here and putting me to 4. Vanishing Light. That's kind of annoying. I'm going to cycle the miscalc. That was a really good draw. Brain Freeze myself for 12. Hope to hit the lines at Diamond. If I had known that was on top of my deck last turn, I could have won, but oh well. We hit both Moxen, so that gives me a little bit of ammunition. And they're going to move the Jet, sure. Draw. Oh, is Ancestral Recall a good card? I wasn't sure. Let's cast that. Storm 1. Into High Tide. Let's turn about. Land. Untap. Underworld Breach. And we have 8 cards in our library. Let's... Ancestral, why not? So this brings us down to 5 cards. Ancestral again brings us down to 2. We can destroy the Jit because we just can. Alright, so they're going to 25, which matches how many cards are in their library, fun fact. Alright, well we have 2 cards in our library, and one of them is a Thassa's Oracle. So we're going to float a blue mana here and cast Gush. And there's our Oracle. Alright, we're 2-0, 1 round left to go. I believe in us. I think we're going to get the trophy. Do you? Stick around and find out. Playing your favorite combo deck in Paper just got so much easier with the Epic Storm Mini Token Pack. You can pick one up at theepicstorm.com/shop for $13. It includes 64 double-sided mini tokens. That's 128 tokens total. And they include 10 black, 10 blue, 10 red, 5 green, 5 white, 3 colorless, 20 storm counters. That means that you can count your way all the way up to 20 for Grape Shot, everyone's favorite storm win condition, a Galvanic Relay Exile Indicator, 4 treasure tokens for Strike It Rich, and then 10 monk tokens for our vintage friends. It also has Slime Time Live, 8th Progenitor Ooze tokens with the power and toughness already built in to make playing in paper so much easier. No fumbling around with dice, we've got you covered. Make sure to go grab those if you're playing Modern. And then Squirrels versus Goblins, Chatterstorm versus Empty the Warrens, the Battle of the Ages. You definitely need 20 Squirrel tokens and 20 Goblin tokens. You're going to love this mini token pack, I promise. And once again, you can grab that at theepicstorm.com/shop. For the trophy, match number 3, we're on the play with this blue-red Underworld Breach Storm deck. Mox Sapphire, Ancestral Vision, sign me up. Keep. Opponent takes a mulligan to 6. Island, Mox Sapphire, and let's suspend. Mountain. I don't like that. Here I am keeping the slow hand with Ancestral Visions. Alright, Island past the turn. Okay, so not burn. I like not burn. Sure thing. I was like terrified of Eidolon or the Great Revel or something. Draw. Alright, so now we just want to find Time Spiral. Land number 3 for the opponent. Inquisition. That's a little bit of a bummer. About to lose our High Tide. Womp womp. Alright. Roxa. That's not very nice. Alright, Brain Freeze down. Alright, Vision goes down to 1 counter, I believe. Yep. Draw. Expressive Iteration. Can't cast that. Chandra. They're definitely curving out well. Okay, so we're going to take a hit here and going down to 12. So I believe this comes off suspend here. Target me. There's Breach. We just need a red source now. Draw? Not quite. Repeal the Sapphire. Play Oracle. Don't want either of those. I think we might want to tap our opponent's lands in their upkeep here, because I just win if I find a red source. Land, tap. We're at 10 life. I will block the Harvester. Please deck red source. Why are you like this? I show you nothing but love, and you treat me like this. Oh no. I don't like that. Chose not to play the Ganti? Am I seeing that correctly? So we're going to 5, and they have 4 open mana? Yikes. K command returning Kroxa. Alright, deck, this is your last chance. It has to be red source. Draw. Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, let's cast it like that. And then let's play the Expressive. Frantic Search to hand. Actually, no, let's take the Gush to hand. Frantic Search to exile. Float a blue, cast Gush. Cast Gush. And then... Oh, hold on. Cast High Tide. Remove Gush, Expressive, Desperate. And now we Frantic Search. Yikes, that was bad. I don't think we're going to need red, so I'm not going to untap it. Term is 6. So we just have a deterministic win here. So we target ourselves. Okay. And then we play Oracle with Force Backup. Not that we need Force Backup, but we have it. And that's how we do. Got lucky, drew the red source. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm just going to resubmit because our deck is already perfect. This deck is a 10 out of 10. I truly believe that. Is it the best cube deck you could ever make? No, but it's still a 10 out of 10. It doesn't have Black Lotus, no Time Walk. Like, I get it. It is not a perfect deck. But if you're being realistic on a scale of like how good cube decks are, this deck is definitely the top of the list. We have to ship this. Okay, so going to 6 cards. I don't know. Think I keep this and just like bottom a land. Hopefully this Ancestral Visions doesn't get discarded. I don't want to like mulligan to, well, that's kind of scary when I kept a Vision hand. I don't want to mulligan to Ancestral only to get hit by Inquisition of Kozilek that we saw in game 1. Draw. Mox Pearl. Pass the turn. So they're going to level up the figure here, and I will go to 18. Draw. And the draw is Mana Flare. No real point to casting Mana Flare right now, so we're just going to pass. 2 mana, 3 mana. Mana Flare would have been actively bad for me via Figure of Destiny murdering me. Okay, this thing. Create a 2/2. Next turn they get to loot, and then they get a bad Kiki Jiki. Alright, so we go to 16. Alright, let's auto yield to this. 2 counters left. Lion's Eye Diamond. We are an Underworld Breach away. I don't know if we're going to live long enough for this Visions, though. Haunted Ridge. Sedgemoor Witch, okay. So we're going to take 4 here, going down to 12. And the next turn they have a guaranteed 7, 8, 9. We're pretty close to death. Yeah, really close to death. Draw. This calculation. I think we just passed the turn. Alright, so this becomes a 2/2, so that's 6, 9, 11. Or they can equip this. Yep. If that was an untapped land, we were dead to the Lava Claw. Might as well counter Croxa. I think we're also just dead to them leveling up this into a 4/4. I think they just missed lethal. Oh, this can't attack. Alright, well, they didn't miss it. Alright, deck, we need this Ancestral Vision to be good. Target me. Faithless Looting. Well, that's a Ancestral Recall. So let's cast that. Going down to 23 cards. Not quite good. Alright, so let's Desperate Ritual. Let's play Mana Flare. Looting. Discard these 2. Cast Gush. We might be able to storm the hard way here. 28 cards. Yeah, we're just going to deck them the hard way with Brain Freeze. Alright, so tap these, play Brawl. Flashback Looting. Cool. High Tide and Brain Freeze for 33. I'm sorry, 39. Okay, that should do it. 3-0. Wooch wooch. We got to do the Underworld Breach combo a few times this league. For my first time ever drafting Breach combo, it was super powerful. We got the trophy. This deck was a 10 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.